Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ, and it is big news. Antonio Brown and the Buccaneers have reached an agreement on a one-year deal. That's according to an ESPN report. Brown's suspension ends after Week 8. He was suspended for multiple violations of the league's personal conduct policy. AB caught his last touchdown from Tom Brady while playing for New England last year. His next touchdown catch will be thrown by Tom Brady while playing for Tampa Bay. Likely make his debut in Week 9 at home against the Saints. Let's welcome in CBS Sports senior NFL insider Jonathan Jones, who joins us on the phone. Jonathan, Antonio Brown to the Bucs. Your reaction is what?
Well, the reaction is that, this is something that Tom Brady has been very open about wanting for a very long time. And Bruce Arians is going to have to walk back his comments from several months ago where he said that, no chance, and I don't even know if we have the money. Listen, the trade deadline is about 10 or 11 days away, and the Bucs were absolutely ready to make moves. We saw that earlier this week when they restructured Ali Marpet's contract to free up about $4.1 million in cap space. So we knew that the Bucs were going to make some type of move, some sort of deal for either a free agent or a current player on a roster. What made the most sense was, of course, a free agent. And when news broke earlier this week that, hey, Antonio Brown, heads up, he's still about to be available after this suspension, you started looking around, and it was the Saints and the Ravens, of course, the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. And Jason La and the Tampa Bay organization have been working very quietly on this, obviously, because the Seahawks made it very clear. They wanted to recruit Antonio Brown. They clearly chose the tactic of doing a bit of a public recruitment for Antonio Brown. Meanwhile, Tampa wanted to be quiet about it. I look at this Tampa team, and I see one football and a number of guys. I see Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette in the backfield. Obviously, they lost O.J. Howard, but Gronk is coming on. Cameron Brate would like to be a little more involved in that offense. And, of course, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Now, both of those two pass catchers, their top two pass catchers, have been banged up a little bit. Antonio Brown is more than just insurance. He comes in, and if he is still in football shape or gets into it, he will immediately be a top 5 to 7 wide receiver in the NFL and can work his way back into shape and being a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. But this also does go beyond the field. This is not just, hey, what does he do for you on the field? It's what does he bring to this locker room? And frankly, the last that we saw him in a locker room, it wasn't great. Off the field, when in New England, he's faced any number of issues, very serious issues. He's serving an 8-game suspension, not for the very serious sexual assault civil suit that is still ongoing, but for a burglary and assault case. And then we continue down the path of what's going on with Antonio Brown. He's kind of calmed down on social media in the past month or so as he tries to get a job back. That's no surprise. But remember, it wasn't that long ago that he was publicly airing domestic disputes with the mother of his children on Instagram Live. This is a guy who is a loose cannon. He is shown to be that. He has proven to be that. And during a pandemic, when all of your team members, all of your staff and personnel folks are entering into the social contract of keeping one another safe and not just doing right by themselves and their own families, but for their neighbor, I don't know if you want to bring in a guy who you can't trust away from the facility. However, Tampa, for whatever reason, this is my own personal opinion, I'm editorializing here, it is beyond me why you would want to jeopardize chemistry in the locker room, much less the ability to safely field a team, because I don't trust a guy like Antonio Brown with his track record during a pandemic.
All right, we'll see if he really is, in fact, worth the distraction there in Tampa Bay. Jonathan Jones, join us here on CBS Sports HQ. Antonio Brown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have reached an agreement on a one-year deal. Jonathan, thank you.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.